And the other thing I want to tell you that happened, and you'll hear, I think this commercial is coming up, Rebel, is that we started something called Taylor MD Formulations. And when I was out speaking, what would happen is I started speaking for the supplement companies. And the supplement companies wanted me to try their supplements, of course. So I would try them and they'd have, ashwagandha, B12, they'd have all these single products. And so for my patients to get a benefit, they had to get five, six, seven different supplements. Now that works great for the supplement company, but it it's impossible. I can't take 8 pills on a consistent basis. And it was hard for my patients to do it. So my wife said, "Hey, we started reading." Said, "Hey, if you get smaller quantities of um, herbs and supplements, they work together in synergy, and the result is greater than the sum of the parts." So all we have is these combination products, and we try to help people feel better or create or correct cortisol curves or whatever. Uh, we like for them to do it and only have to take 1 or 2 pills. And we've had this company for it's been about 15 years now. And we've used it in our practice and they work. People can take 1, 2, maybe 3 products and they feel better. And eventually, they can take them less. So that's our concept. That's how we've uh how we've developed our practice. And so we did that. And when my sister passed away, that was it. I was like, we can't keep doing these American Functional Medicine programs. And then in 2020, COVID hit, so everything you know, kind of stopped. And so I think Rebel, I know we have a commercial talking about about the supplement company. You want to play that now? Because now I want to get to the second half of my life, what I'm going through now. So that's my past. And now I want to invite you to come with me on this ageless blueprint to figure out how we can live a long, healthy, vital life. Because I'll tell you what I saw myself, I'm going to turn 65 this year. And I didn't want to see myself like my parents, the last 10, 15 years of their life. It went down, both of them. I didn't want that. So I'm on this search of how can I ascend and not descend in my quote unquote golden years. I
That
said,
sounds great.
yeah. So let's hear the commercial. Is it time for that?
Yes. Let's do the
Okay.
commercial. And then when we come
Hmm.
back, before you
Hmm.
get to the next part, let's cover some questions that we got in.
Okay.
Okay. So let's get to a
Okay, great.
commercial break and we'll be right back.
All right, great.
We are going to a quick break, so stay with us as we explore the Ageless Blueprint right here on W4HC Radio and Talk 4 TV. An ancient secret with a modern twist for better health and vitality. Dr. Taylor will be right back. Taking care of your health shouldn't mean taking a handful of pills every day. At Taylor MD Formulations, they create doctor-developed supplements that combine the best natural ingredients so you get the results you need with fewer pills. Taylor MD Formulations is backed by science, designed for real life with real results. Less pills, better health, doctor approved. Shop now at TaylorMDFormulations.com and discover smarter supplements for smarter health. That's TaylorMDFormulations.com. We are back for more of Ageless Blueprint. Once again, let's join Dr. Taylor for more insights and research on the ancient secret to better health and a better life in modern times. Here's your host, Dr. Eldred Taylor.
All right.
All right.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So were you able to
Okay,
hear
so
that
we have some
commercial?
questions.
Yes,
Yeah,
we do.
yeah, I heard the commercial. Yeah, it's great. It makes me want to go buy some.
Absolutely. I can honestly say I love Taylor Medical. I don't promote doctors normally, but I promote Dr. Taylor because I believe in him. All right.
Yeah.
So, first question that came in today.
Hmm.
How do we change the things we learned the first 7 years as we go along?
Hey, I'm just learning that, and that's what I want to teach you guys is that, we wrote a book called The Stress Connection. And the next book I think I want to write is called The Stress Disconnection. And the way you disconnect from that blueprint is through meditation. And one of my regrets in medicine is that I didn't understand the importance of meditation. Because the only way you can change those unconscious thoughts is you have to quiet that voice in your head that's chattering at you 24, almost 24/7. By meditating, you quiet your mind. You go from these, and I don't want to get too scientific, but your brain makes these beta waves when you're in fear, and it just makes you have all of these scattered thoughts. So they call it ADHD, but really it's just you have all these scattered thoughts. And that makes you anxious and nervous because you don't know what to focus on. So if you can quiet your mind through meditation, and meditation is really about being in this present moment, not worrying about what's going to happen and not reminiscing or thinking about what's in the past. So staying right here in this present moment. And that's when you can calm beta waves down into alpha waves. And alpha waves are more organized. And that is where you can start to create a new thought and a new way of living to get over that program. You got to calm down the mind. And when you calm it down enough, you enter that theta, that hypnotic state, and that's where you can imprint new thoughts. So if you were hypnotized that somebody told you you're never going to amount to anything, or you really had poor self-esteem, when you're in that theta state, you can start feeding yourself these affirmations that say, no, I am worthy, that I am good enough, that you can start to imprint a new pattern in your life. And that's what I really want to focus on. And that's what I've been learning these last 6 months is how do you change that program? And I'm going to tell you, I had to change my idea about religion and spirituality. I had to change my idea about what health and what medicine is really about. I had to change the way that I thought about eating and nutrition. And I had to changed the way I thought about my fears. And I'm going to tell you, you have been programmed to have fears. I was programmed to fear water. I was programmed because my mother was afraid of water. I was programmed to fear dogs, and now I have dogs. I had to get over that fear. Now, let me tell you what changed my life in getting over a fear is that to get over that fear of water, I went and took a scuba diving lesson. And my wife and my daughter, they're like, Dad, don't do it, don't do it. You're scared of water. I did that scuba diving lesson and I got finished with that lesson and I felt like I had reborn. Yeah, that's me. Thank you. I got that. So I felt like I had been reborn. And when you get over that one main fear, you can almost get over anything. And I'm going to tell you, the number one fear people have to get over is the fear of death. And that's where I changed my idea about religion because I think religion, and this is going to be somewhat controversial, is that sometimes religion makes you afraid to live and scared to die because you're always wondering if you're good enough to get to heaven. And religion and spirituality are different. And so that's that difference I had to make. So anyway, so let me tell you, at 65, turning 65, I said, "Hey, look, how can I change who I am?" Because me and my wife, at least I was in a lull, and my wife always pushes me. She pushes me to be the best that I can be, and sometimes, I get mad at her for pushing me, but then I look back and I say she's right. So we said we need to change. So somehow, some way, I went on YouTube and saw this thing called Reality Creator and it's a little 26-year-old guy named Quasi, and he was talking about identity shifting. Is that you have to shift your identity. You have to be who you want to be. You don't think your way into it. You just have to be it. You have to do the things that you want to become. Just do it. And it's kind of like Nike. So I said that and he said you have to be clear about what you want. And I said I wanted to be a better husband. I wanted to be a better father. I wanted to be fearless. I wanted to have new experiences. And I kept thinking that I went through that course, and it changed me. It changed me. And that's why you see all that information about Egypt that I have. So it gave me the ability to get over my fear of leaving my office for 3 weeks. I was afraid to leave my office because I thought I wasn't going to make any money or whatever. And my wife wanted to go to Egypt. I got interested in spirituality and how the ancient Egyptians, they looked at spirituality as a science. They thought that science was seen spirituality and spirituality was unseen science. So being a scientist and growing up in a spiritual background, I'm like, I got to go to Egypt. So we went to Egypt, and that changed our lives. And that made me come back and understand that the ancient Egyptians, those hieroglyphics that you saw, they were trying to give us a blueprint for life. That's just not art. Those are messages, those are symbols. And when they discovered the Rosetta Stone, they learned what those symbols mean. And so I got really interested in ancient philosophy and ancient spirituality. And that's another ageless blueprint. 10,000, 6,000 to 10,000 years ago, they were trying to give us a blueprint of how to live a long lasting, eternal life. And it's all about balance and harmony, giving you peace. And when you're at peace, you can figure out what your purpose is. And when you are living in your purpose, you are wanting to live longer and with vitality. Who wants to live miserable? I see people in their 60s and they're miserable. My mother and father, they were back and forth from the hospital. I'm not on any medications. I take some supplements, but I'm not taking eight or nine of them. So it was a blueprint. I got in balance, and I'm trying to get in harmony, and I'm trying to continue to be in harmony. And what I'm going to teach you is that everything vibrates. And when it vibrates in harmony, everything works great. When it's out of harmony, it's just like if you listen to a band and one person hits a bad note, it throws the whole harmony off. So that's how, let's go back to the question. That is how you change your blueprint. You have to get over your fears. You have to calm your mind down. You have to be aware of those unconscious thoughts. You have to be clear of how you want to change those thoughts. And then you have to feed that into your mind. And again, I have so much to share with you, all the things that I've learned that has changed my life.